Following the release of the weaker than expected July job numbers report, Japanese stocks suffered their biggest single day drop since 1987's Black Monday crash. President Trump calling it the Kamala crash. Joining me now is Republican Senate candidate for Arizona, Kari Lake. Kari, thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be here. I wish we had better news today, but this is what happens when you have incompetent people running our country. We see things like a disaster at the border and now an economic disaster. And look at what's happening on the stock market. People are really worried right now about what's going to happen. Will we be entering a recession? It's starting to look like it.
You know, Trump posted on Truth Social, let's take a look at it. Stock market's crashing. I told you so. Kamala doesn't have a clue. Biden is sound asleep. All caused by inept U.S. leadership. President Trump appropriately calling all of this Kamala crash. The Dow, I mean, look at this. It's dropped now more than 1,000 points, Kari. Recession, it could be a reality, yet you've got Kamala saying everything's fine, folks. Don't believe your eyes. Don't believe your ears. Don't believe your bank accounts.
Well, that's what they have to do. It's always dodging and lying, frankly. I mean, they juice the economic numbers, making people think the economy is better than it is. They fudge the crime statistics, making people think that maybe crime isn't soaring, even though we can see that violent crime is up. They fudge the numbers when it comes to the border. They have to dodge and lie and fudge the numbers in order to try to convince the American people that they're on top of things. But frankly, they've destroyed this country, and they are on the verge of making things even worse. So the people aren't believing the fake and phony numbers anymore. They know that when the media says Kamala's not really the border czar, that actually means Kamala is indeed the border czar and responsible for the wide open border. The media knows when they try to pitch Kamala as the greatest thing ever in politics, that the people actually know when the media tries to paint her as the greatest thing in politics, that means she's probably the worst thing to happen to politics, because we're feeling it. We're living in the Biden and Kamala economy, and it's not going well. We can't afford things at the grocery store. We're having to make decisions about if we should cut back on what we can eat. We cut back on gasoline. Which utility bills do we pay? Which ones do we let slide? Things are very tough for the American people, and you can blame the woman you see right there on the screen, Kamala Harris.
You know, Kari, I do the grocery shopping for my home, and I saw the meat section, and I saw there was like tons and tons of meat. Some of it was even expired. I told the clerk, and he said to me, people are just not buying as much meat anymore because it's too expensive. This is what the Biden-Harris regime has done to this country, that people are going without food. They're going without food. Meantime, you've got them spending billions of taxpayer dollars on illegals, this invasion, and now the Biden-Harris team just made it easier for illegals to enter the United States. The borders are, she's adding a number of areas that illegals can now apply coming into the United States. There's even an app, as you well know, so that they can make an appointment. I mean, you're a big proponent of securing the border. They are systematically, every policy, one by one, destroying our nation, destroying everything that we have built for hundreds of years.
Just another example of putting America last. And the people don't want this anymore. The people have been watching the video you're showing on your screen of an invasion on our southern border since the day Joe Biden and Kamala Harris took office. She's the border czar. She's responsible for it. My opponent, Ruben Gallego, their favorite congressman, who has rubber stamped every single thing they've done, is to blame as well. We need to have a change. We need to have a change in Washington, D.C. This is what President Trump's been talking about. He warned us about what would happen to the border if they got into office. He warned us about a stock market crash. He warned us about inflation. All of it is coming true. He even warned us about World War III, which it looks like we're getting closer and closer to entering that. This is why Americans have got to band together. It's not Democrats versus Republicans. It's people who want to save our country versus people who are dead set on destroying our country. We need to come together, start putting our country first. first, whether you're a Democrat, independent, or Republican. We call it America First policies, not Republican First policies. And we want to have a strong economy. I think Democrat voters really want that as well. I think Democrat voters also want to make sure that their kids are safe when they're out playing in the yard. They don't have to worry about them. They want their kids to get a good education. They want to have a secure border. This is why I'm hoping that this is a wake-up call. You know, if there's anything that can come out of this terrible day on the stock market and possibly what's coming, is that we wake up some Americans to realize the Democrat policies aren't working. We've got to get back to America First policies. Everybody does better when we put our country first.
We have about a minute left, but I have to get to the race for the White House. I feel like the campaign strategy, what they're doing with Kamala, is kind of similar to what we saw with Joe Biden, putting him in the basement. Now they're putting Kamala in the corner, perching her high up on a pedestal, anointing her as if she's now Barack Obama, right? And that she's some eloquent orator. I mean, say what you want of Barack Obama. He didn't give out word salads. And we know Kamala Harris, we know what she is. It's like this, you know, do you think this will work? The Democrats already perpetuated a scam on the American people, making so many believe that Joe Biden was fit to be president. And now they're trying to do the same with Kamala Harris.
Well, if the people of this country wake up, I believe they are. I'm out on the campaign trail every day. Not a day goes by where I don't have Democrats come up and say, I'm voting for you. I voted for you in the last election. I can't believe what's happening to our country. But, you know, the fake news media is trying to make everyone think we're 50-50. I believe that 75-80% of the country is not for this collision course with disaster that Kamala and Biden have put us on. And so, you know, we just have to shed the fake news media, fake and false narrative that is trying to portray Kamala Harris, one of the most incompetent people, frankly, when you look at her record. Look what she did to California. Look at what she's done since when she was a senator, the most liberal senator ever. Look at what she's done as vice president. We have to shake what the fake news media is selling us, push it off, turn off the fake news media, and go out and vote like our lives and our country depends on it, because it truly does.
You're also a veteran journalist like myself, and never underestimate the power of the propaganda machine, the fake news media. So, President Trump, he's got an uphill climb to overcome. I think he's up against a coordinated machine, but if anybody can beat it, it's President Trump. Kari Lake, thank you so much for joining us.